everybody, it's me, Stoner Yoshi, and today we're going to be talking about, in honor of Disney Pixar's Elio, a movie about child abduction, we're going to be talking about the original Pixar movie, the one that started all, Toy Story, and more specifically, which Toy Story toys would be the very best to smoke with. But first, couple of ground rules. Rule number one, everybody on this list can smoke, despite being toys and being made out of plastic and stuff. It's healthy for them to smoke, they're allowed to smoke, and furthermore, they want to smoke with me, meaning I'm the sole decider of who does and doesn't get into my smoke circle, aka blunt rotation. Point of business number two, let's go over the tiers real quick. Top tier is life-changing smoke. That's the kind of smoke sesh that'll change your life for the better. Number two is amazing sesh, really great, really memorable, maybe not life-changing, but you know, still worth it. Below that is bong buds. Bong buds, more chill, relaxed, laid-back sesh, but still very enjoyable. In the circle, these are for people who are invited into the smoke circle, but they're not necessarily our buds, and it's not necessarily going to be the best smoke of our lives. D is for don't wanna. This is just people I don't want to smoke with particularly. And then at the very bottom, we have the nightmare blunt rotation. That's where we're building the worst possible blunt rotation we could do. And point of business number three, these are all just my opinions, so if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below and I'll get back to you on that, okay? Fucker. Starting things off, we have Woody from Toy Story. I know I've said in the past that it's not good to smoke with cops and Woody's a sheriff or whatever, but Woody is also just a very genuine guy and is going through existential crises in basically every single one of these Toy Story movies. We're just following him as he fucking loses it, because either Buzz is gonna replace him, or he's just inevitably gonna get replaced, or he's going to college or some shit. I kind of forget. Anyway, Woody may not be perfect, but he's been there since the beginning, and he's been trying his best since the very beginning. And I think it would be rude of me to not at least invite him into the circle. Come on now, it's Woody. Next we have Buzz. Now Buzz, kind of a doofus, kind of an a-hole at times, to be honest, especially in that first one, but also kind of a hero. I think we'll also put him in the circle next to Woody. That way they remain, you know, even playing field. Now Bo Peep, if the fourth movie hadn't happened, she would be like, I don't wanna, like I don't care, like it doesn't matter. That said, fourth movie, she kind of holds down. The fourth movie is low-key about her and the way that she is now advertising an off-the-grid anarcho-communist lifestyle. And if you're not smoking with anarcho-communists, are you even smoking at all? Mr. Potato Head is next, and I'm gonna be honest, I always notice Mr. Potato Head is like the first guy to throw Woody under the bus, and he's kind of an asshole for that. We've had a lot of time through the movies to potentially forgive him, but he just kind of has a sour attitude. I don't mess with him. I don't want to smoke with him. Not a nightmare or anything, just personal preference. Now this is what I'm talking about. Slinky Dog is a great person to smoke with. He doesn't want to turn his back on Woody when all the other toys do. He's a man of integrity. Furthermore, he's a super chill guy. Fifth of all, he's a Slinky as well as a dog. Life-changing. I love Rex. If you ask me who my favorite was as a kid, I would say Slinky Dog, but then I would say Rex, probably like right after. Rex is good, a good character, a good guy, however, not a good smoke. His like main trait is that he's a coward and he's afraid of anything. I think we get him on the weed and he freaks the hell out and makes it everybody's problem. For that reason, he's unfortunately going into the nightmare blunt rotation. Hate to do it to you, Rex, but I had to. Hammy reminds me a lot of Potato Head in demeanor, but maybe he's slightly more positive. He isn't just like crazy negative all the time like Potato Head is. That said, I don't think I need to smoke with him to appreciate him as a character, and I don't think he would add a lot to my circle. The Green Army men take shit too seriously. You guys are toys, time to start acting like it. And furthermore, I'm not smoking with you. This guy, I'm not sure I even recognize. He looks kind of like a Stretch Armstrong, but he also kind of looks like Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. And for that reason, we're just gonna not smoke with him. We have a couple of strange utilitarian ones in a row, so I'm gonna run through them real quick. RC Car is a total chiller. He's a bud. He's my friend. Etch-a-Sketch, living drawing machine. I request to see something. He delivers. That's a good relationship. That's an amazing sesh. Binoculars man, very cute, not very talkative. I would smoke with him. Microphone guy, kind of on par with Etch-a-Sketch, kind of utilitarian, nice to have around. You're not getting a lot of personality out of him, but you know, you're glad he's there. Maybe he's just a bud. I don't need a barrel of monkeys in my smoke circle as much as I love monkeys. We're going for a chill time and they seem like a lot of information. The Claw. These aliens are proto-minion, and the last thing we need in our smoke circle is a minion. So yeah, they would just be fucking annoying the whole time, right? Like, I know they saved the day in 3, but the voice, the not understanding anything, going in Nightmare. Speaking of Nightmare, we have a couple in a row that are Sid's creations. I know it's not their fault. They didn't ask to be mutilated and torn apart and put back together again. That said, I don't want to smoke with a spider baby. Do you? I think it would be a little scary. I think it'd be scary to Rex especially, so he's gonna go in the Nightmare. He's gonna make this dynamic worse. Buff bughead guy who just kind of crawls around, another one of Sid's creations. Maybe less of a Nightmare, maybe more just don't wanna. Now just to even everything out, Legs Fishhook can come smoke. Legs Fishhook gets the invite. You know, what if you're like, hey, grab me a freaking bag of Lays. Fishhook goes out, grabs the Lays, brings them back to the circle. That's kind of nice. There comes a time in every man's life when he has to ponder the question, do I want to smoke with Jessie the cowgirl from Toy Stories 2 through 4? I would say yeah. I would say she's a good smoke. We'll go ahead, we'll put her in the circle. I think she fits in the circle. Now Bullseye though, Bullseye's a bud. I smoke with Bullseye all the time. He can really hold his weed. He is interesting conversations, lots of loyalty. He's a chill dude to have around while you're smoking. Prospector Pete is defined by his greed, which I think means that in a smoking situation, he'd be one of those guys who gets the joint and is just talking and holding it and hitting it like over and over again and like completely stops the rotation of the blunt. So that sounds terrible. He's going to Nightmare. Zerg is an op. He is an oppositional force. I don't think he's a Nightmare, but he's certainly a don't wanna. Mrs. Potato Head is sort of like your friend's aunt, and I think it's always a little bit cool to have the opportunity to smoke with your friend's aunt. So we'll get her in the circle. I don't know if she'll have a lot to say or do or contribute, but you know, she's positive. She'll be glad to be there. Wheezy the Penguin is a grade A stoner. He puffs loud, he puffs often, he wakes and bakes. Hell, he couldn't speak for a second there because he smoked too much loud, but then he got on the mic, he was singing, he was dancing. He's a life-changing smoke. Now we have to think critically about a guy like Lotso Huggins Bear, because I know that what he did was bad for the Toy Story toys. However, I'm not a toy. He never wronged me. Just on face value, his worldview is that he believes that no child will ever really be loyal to a toy, so he doesn't think any of the toys should be able to get back to their kid. So, you know, some jealousy in that, some shittiness. That said, I think I could change his mind. I think I could explain to him about the development of children the role of toys. I think we could have a life-changing smoke together and come to a mutual understanding through both of our perspectives. Now, Lotso has a couple of hench people that aren't major roles, but that were on the list, so we're just gonna run through them real quick. Buff Bugman in the circle. Octopus guy, no. Sandman, Earthen guy, he's my bud. Evil Robot, no. Big Baby Davis of Boston Celtics fame. Feels a little mean because the other baby is all the way down in Nightmare. That's a baby on spider legs though. Big Baby, he can come hang out in the circle. If we're gonna broker peace between Lotso and Andy's toys, we're gonna need some representation for Lotso's side so that he doesn't feel ganged up on. Barbie, very positive person. She doesn't strike me as much of a stoner. However, she is a jack of all trades. She is open to many jobs, and therefore, why couldn't Stoner Barbie be one of them? Why couldn't it have a little Rasta cap as her accessory? We'll put her in Amazing Sesh. Kenneth of Barbie fame, kind of an op during the Lotso movie and stuff. However, does have a lot of cool fits, does have a little bit of clout. I wouldn't say we're buds, I don't hang with him on the reg, but he'll get the nod, he'll get the invite, and then maybe, you know, he'll let me raid his closet and we can, you know, stunt on them hoes. Now, the phone from Toy Story 3 was a good inside information giver for Woody about Lotso's evil plan and such. And he has like a cool voice, even though it's like a little bit threatening. We'll sit these guys next to each other, see what they have to talk about. Not to be anti-intellectual, but the bookworm is a nerd, and I try my darndest to not smoke with nerds. While I like this security chimp, I can't help but feel that he's kind of a cop. We'll put him next to the army guy. This is Depressing Clown from Lotso's backstory. I don't know if you guys have ever smoked with a depressing clown before. I've given it a shot, and whoo boy, it does not go well. One puff of the weed, and you're hearing deep, dark secrets that you couldn't pry out of me with electrocution, torture with my nips. We're gonna put him in Nightmare. He's gonna really sour the vibe down here. Now we're in the realm of Bonnie's toys. If Bonnie was on this list, she would go in Nightmare. I don't like her. I don't think the movies like her, to be honest. This pompous ass hedgehog, though, is particularly egregious, and he's going in Nightmare. This dinosaur is straight up annoying. If I put her in Nightmare, she and Rex kind of have a thing, so that would be like a grounding, stabilizing force for the Nightmare tier, and we can't have that, so we're just gonna put her in Don't Wanna. This is the Curb Your Enthusiasm unicorn. He seems like a chiller. He'll go in the circle. He's in a pod, don't wanna. I don't smoke with vegetables. Now this one right here, whose name I don't know, she's sort of like Bonnie's Woody, and I always got bad, weird vibes from her. Not a fan. I'm gonna put her in Don't Wanna. I think she would give Nightmare too much structure. Forky is interesting because it sort of depends on the time of the movie in which he's appearing. Forky at the very beginning is kind of annoying because he doesn't know anything and is just saying trash over and over again and trying to throw himself away. But once he gets over that, once you break down those walls, he's just a guy who's trying to learn. Could be good for me to teach him a little bit about the world, a little bit about smoking. He's experiencing everything for the first time, and he's doing so with a lot of awe and wonder involved. I think that that's nice. I think that he's an amazing sesh. Apologies to you Forky haters out there, but also fuck you. This little thingy is a cop, and what do we not do? We don't smoke with the police. That's right, thank you for saying it in unison with me. Key and Peele, Bunny and Duck are buds. I smoke with them every Sunday at the rec center, and then we just like mess around and shoot hoops, and once that gets old, we swim. And honestly, if you want to come, it's a good time. Come to the rec center. This is Keanu Reeves' bike jump man. He's kind of framed as like a washed up action star in the movie, which is is kind of awesome. I love smoking with washed up people. He's very like uncle core. He's gonna be telling me about the time that he saw Bruce Springsteen live and there was a wardrobe malfunction and he saw Bruce Springsteen's balls. Of all the Toy Story villains, I kind of find this one the most sympathetic, because her whole entire goal is just to like find a home that wants her, and her whole entire obstacle is just being like a little bit creepy and old-fashioned and whatever. We'll give her the nod. We'll invite her. We'll put her next to this baby man. They probably have a lot to discuss, honestly. And finally, last but not least, we have, I don't know, Spoony, Knifey. Basically, and you know, I don't mean to be rude about this, but we're just inviting her because Forky asked us to, and you know, Forky's, we're close. And that's the list. Looking at it, we've got a really lovely, kind of large rotation with kind of a lot of objects that don't have a lot of personality. But you know, me and Lotso and Slinky and Tux will be getting into it. And meanwhile, on the nightmare side, this looks like about the worst smoke sesh you can ever have. I think I actually had one of these in college and I quit my brat right after that. So who do you think is the best to smoke with in Toy Story? Who do you think is the worst? Do you hate me for my Lotso opinions? Let me know in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. Also, let me know if you got an idea for another list that I should do a smoke circle for. I love to do these. I'm gonna keep doing them. You've got a friend in me. I'll see you next time.